You don't say the one. Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Thank you for watching. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome to my review for Missing. See, I can even have that in the background. I have slipcovers. That's why I like slipcovers. So I'm gonna be upfront with y'all. I forgot about this. Okay, one of two movies I forgot. The other one being Elemental, which I purchased just because it's and now I have to review that too at some point. So Missing is the spiritual sequel to Searching, which is it's directed by the editors of the last one. And when the trailer came out, I wasn't impressed because, again, it's Storm Reid, right? I mentioned in my Nun review, I don't know why, but I just never cared for the actress, just the way she always looks pouty and everything. So I bought this thinking, okay, maybe I'll put it on sometime, who knows. And I forgot I had it, and I was going through the movies. I put my first stack there, I'm okay. And then I realized, Missing! Yeah, okay, and I wasn't really looking. I almost did it last night. I almost watched this last night. And then this morning I woke up, I said, I only got one review done yesterday. I should try to fix that. So, I put this on my Vudu. I wasn't expecting anything. See, I gave the first one in the middle of the road. Yes, I did have to watch the end of my last review for it to do that. But I gave it a middle of the road, and I had some issues with it, including the fact that David had to put cameras in his brother's house so then we can then follow him into his brother's house. Stuff like that. And I was quite surprised at how good this actually was. I think this is better than the first one. I think this is better than Searching. And if you're wondering, is there a connection? Well, yeah, they take place in the same universe. Because this movie sort of starts, it's during the opening of this, where we find our main character, Junebug, or June, watching something called Unfiction, which is a recreation of crimes or crime stories. I guess you could say like unsolved mysteries, but they're not unsolved. I gotta shut this again. And we see a recreation of Searching's events. Albeit the guy they have playing John Cho is probably like 20 years older than John Cho, but it's okay. I was like, wait, is this supposed to be like the first one? Because they're not getting it back, and then they showed it was a reenactment. I'm like, oh, okay. Which is how I compare it to Unsolved Mysteries. But yeah, and the mystery this time was, this time it's a daughter looking for her missing mother. Okay, so we're reversing things. It's the child looking for the parent now instead of the parent looking for the child. And at first, when I was going through this, it seemed very much like they were copying the template of the first one, except for it's a daughter searching for a mother. And then we have the friend is somehow involved in this, or the friend lawyer, the other female character that's trying to help out is somehow involved in this. What's going on? But then they flip it on its head with a twist. Made me go, huh? Because it's just, and that's what's not saved, because I was enthralled the entire time. But that's what really got me, was this twist, because I was proud of myself. Well, I figure out the twist before it comes on, or I just about figured it out before they reveal it. I didn't figure this out. I did not see this coming at all. I went, It was just like, it really got me. So, congrats. Also, we have, what's his name? So the cast here is Storm Reid, Nia Long is the mother-daughter combo. Storm Reid plays the daughter Junebug, and Nia Long plays the mom, Grace. You have Ken Leung, Or Jaren! I'm Jaren! From oh, there's also Miles from Lost. He plays Kevin, the mom's boyfriend. And you have Joaquin de Almeida. Almeida, yeah. Joaquin de Almeida. Or he was Reyes in Fast 5 and a little cameo in the newest one. As Javi. And so I see him, and I'm thinking, okay, he's the bad guy. No, he's actually a good guy. But the story here is that the mom, Grace, is going on a vacation with her boyfriend Kevin. And, we have, sorry, I got itch. June, and it's one of those things where all the parents don't get along, which the mom and daughter, they don't get along, which is, kind of like the first one. But we actually start the movie. She goes missing, and now she has to try to find her, what's going on, and sort of thing. So we start the film off with some flashback footage to little Junebug and her dad, and the mom comes in, and she's worried about June having the camera, and the dad gets a nosebleed, and it cuts off. And we find that it's someone's laptop. I didn't catch this until I watched Foundflix's video. I didn't catch this, but I thought, okay, it's the beginning scene, sure. And then we flash to now, with 12 years later, which 12 years later is 12 years from 2023, 2018. That'd be 2020. No, that'd be 2021. This takes place in 2021, right? Because it's 2008, so 10 years is 2018. 2 more years is 2020. So this takes place in 2020. They say it was 12 years. But then they say that the footage was in 2008. Is that when? Or was it a couple years after that? I don't know. It's confusing because it'd be 2020, but wouldn't there be COVID stuff going on? I don't know. Was this supposed to come out in 2020 and it just... I don't know. I should have looked. But, so yeah, and this is where we get the reenactment thing of the first movie, showing this is in the same universe, it's just a reenactment now. And the mom is going out with her boyfriend, Kevin. Told myself not to call him that, and I did anyway. Kevin. I'm Jaren! I just keep seeing that from old. I'm Jaren! Kevin, played by Ken Leung, and, he's dating the mom, and he looks much older than she is, but I think they're about the same age, but because he has gray hair, he just looks older, I guess. I don't know. And they're going to go on a vacation to Colombia. Yeah. And just says goodbye, and the mom says, well, no alcohol. Of course, exactly that's what happened, all that stuff. And then when she goes to pick her up at the hospital, don't need to go through all the party stuff, other than a smartwatch is left behind. She never comes out. They never find her. She's not there. And she tries to make contact. And, this girl, she's smart. She tries to make contact with them in Colombia, and they don't speak English, which I feel like there's at least one English-speaking person in other countries. I think you'll find that nowadays everyone speaks a little bit English. There has to be. So many tourists go everywhere. There has to be at least 1 or 2 people. But she's like, you speak English? No, Espanol, only Espanol. And I'm like, why? But she goes to Google Translate to get the Spanish words that she needs to say. And I'd be like, well, can I speak to someone who speaks English? But no, she translates it. And she finds out that there's stuff The date left, but their stuff is still there. All their stuff is still there. So what is going on? What is going on? We don't know. They could be kidnapped. Something happened. We don't know. She tries to get in contact. Yeah, this Heather, who's her mom's friend, who was a lawyer, who's supposed to like babysit her, but talks to her about it. She's no help. So she uses this because she used Go Rabbit or something like that to hire someone to clean the house for her and to not to steal anything. So she tries to use it again, but it doesn't extend to Colombia, so she has to find the Colombian equivalent, which everything is in English. And this is where she meets Javier, played by Joaquin de Almeida. And this guy, from my seeing this and thinking, oh, he's going to be the bad guy, like he's taunting her with that. Especially when you see it like this, it looks like he's like, oh, like it's her mom. And she's like, oh. But no, that's not it at all. That is very, very much deceiving. I'm just saying. I'm sitting on the chair. I'm not even moving that much. He's actually very helpful. And throughout the conversations, he explains he had a son they used to be close with, but they grew apart in an argument, and they don't talk anymore. And his wife passed away, much like her dad passed away. So, yeah. So she goes into her own little investigation with the help of Javi, and she even hacks into some of Kevin's files. And so she finds all this incriminating information and gets in touch with the FBI, this Agent Park. And he says, you need to stop because this I don't find realistic at all. He's like, you can't be doing your own investigation because anything you find can be dismissible in court because it wasn't found legally. And I went, that is bullshit. No, I know that's how it works, but it shouldn't. If she went through and she found incriminating evidence, proof that this guy, let's just say, murdered her mother. They can't take that evidence and put him in prison because it wasn't found by legal means. Bullshit. That is proof he murdered her mother. Again, this is just hypothetical. Come on. I'm just saying, if it went that route and they found proof, she found proof, but then they said, oh, we can't use that, it's dismissible in court because it wasn't found through legal means, it wasn't found, bullshit. You can't just look at that. I went through a similar situation, and they've done the same thing, where they tell me I have to show them proof before they can do anything. But I showed them proof about a couple months earlier, and they did nothing. And I have to show them again. But yeah, now she's frustrated with this, trying to find out. And we get some twists and turns here. There's a woman, Bunny, that looks almost like her mom. Well, this guy has a type. We find out that one of the things I don't like about this movie, they find out that Kevin is a con man, or used to be a con man. She finds out they met on this dating app, right? And she's like, oh, I have some things about my past. And he's like, well, I have some things about my past too. And I guess they talked it out and all that stuff. She also gets a call from a guy named Jimmy, claiming to be a counselor of his, because of after she finds out about his criminal past and everything. Counselor of his that he was going to, and he might have some information on him, but not right now. And she writes down Jimmy, church counselor, whatever. That guy is important because I did not. Oh. So she's able to find footage from this bridge because Javi finds out that they went to hardware stores. So he goes to every hardware store and he buys a pack of gum. And he eats one. You know how many packs of gum I had to buy? I like that line. I love that line. You know how many packs of gum I have to buy? And then he packs of gum, not gum, packs of gum. Packs of gum I had to buy. And then he said they purchased a lock. And you're thinking, you know, the lock, like this. That lock. There, the lock. And no, it's for this bridge in Colombia, I guess. Because I know there's one in Paris. Because you see that in Now You See Me. But turns out that we see footage of them putting the lock on and then proposing to her. And then afterward, they are kidnapped and taken away. And yeah, so now they know for sure that they've been kidnapped and now everything is ramping up. And that's when he tells her, you need to stop. But that's not all, because this is when they find out he's a con man. Because she looks at this footage. She looks at the stuff that was sent. All the pictures of her mom that were sent to her are from behind, or her face is obscured or something like that. And it's a little bit, iffy here. And one thing that made me scratch my head is that there's this picture of her mom's head turned. And then you can click it and play it, and her head turns, and I'm like, why would he send her that? Why would he send her something that could incriminate him? That feels like they had to put something so she figures it out. I don't know. I feel like you could have put two and two together better, but who knows? So now, Jared, Kevin, and this bunny lady, Rachel is her name, Rachel, are now being looked for because they're suspects as the mom is still missing. Right. So eventually they get a hold of this Rachel, who was told that she was hired as an actress, and she got freaked out during the kidnapping portion, and that's when she pieced out. And then they talked to the quote-unquote kidnappers, who also are actors, said they were hired to do this, and that was it. And then Kevin is still in hiding somewhere. Which leads us to another part where they find Kevin, and he surrenders, but they shoot him anyway. And I went, this is after they keep telling us, Kevin is the key. We gotta find Kevin, we can find your mom. We gotta find Kevin. And they shoot him, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. You can't say we gotta find Kevin, and then find him, and kill him off, because, oh no, we just told you that Kevin is the one who can help us find her, and we still got a half-hour movie left, so Kevin's gotta die. I'm like, what was the point of searching for him all this time? Just have him in the wind. And also, I feel like making him a con man, having him be a part of this, kind of ruins the character. Look, when he first talks to her, to June, he is genuine. He seems genuine. And Ken Leung is good in the role, so I felt that maybe this should have been genuine, like they're on this bridge, and then they get kidnapped, and these guys have been hired by whoever is in charge, and then they kill Kevin. They find his body in a ditch somewhere, but Grace is still missing. And here's the thing. The people start implicating that Grace, once it's found out that Grace has changed her name before, they start, the press and everything start, oh, what if she is actually behind this? What if she, I'm like, it's very realistic, but still, is it needed? But it's very realistic. It would happen. Everyone's going to start. And of course, this makes her mad. And eventually she tells Javi off because, maybe you should just let this do la policia, let them do it. And she's like, well, that's right. You give up on your son. I'm not giving up on my mother. She hangs up on him. Eventually she finds evidence that implicates Heather, the lawyer friend, being involved in this. And because she's typing on this, she hacks into this guy's everything and types in as Kevin, talking, this is before he dies, by the way, before they find him, before he dies, like, we need to talk, blah blah blah. Okay, the number is that she's talking to is Heather's. She goes to Heather's law office where she finds her dead, and all this stuff being deleted on her computer. And apparently there was incriminating photos that someone was using, which Detective Park later says that she didn't do this willingly, she was being blackmailed, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when they find Kevin, and he's killed. So, everyone is dead! The mom is still missing. What are we missing? The Uber driver. Which at this point, I forgot about. Yes, there is this guy wearing a hat, whose head is down, wearing a hat down. You don't see his head. Even Rachel says that the Uber driver didn't see what it was. It was just a white guy, you know. So, yeah, I forgot about him. I'm like the Uber driver, but this wasn't when it came back to me. She gets a call from Jimmy Church guy, and I'm like, why is this guy randomly talking to her? And then she's talking to this guy, and he shows up at her front door, and it's revealed to be, drumroll please, her dad. And, you know, props to Storm Reid because she plays this. She's looking through the security camera thing they keep showing, so you know it's going to be something they use on the security camera in the back door, front door, whatever. And she's just like, by the way, she got huge ass nostrils in her nose, and more than one time she's like right up against the screen, and so I was like, good God, you can see best flight and all those things. But anyway, she's just like, and take the glasses off because she doesn't work out. There's no words. Everything is in her facial performance, but she realizes this is her dad, right? However, my question is, she watches these videos of her dad constantly. How did she not recognize his voice? A bit of a nitpick. Just a bit of a nitpick. So it was her dad behind this, and her dad acts all normal, and then starts blaming her mom, saying she took her away, she lied to the cops to take her away from him, and then when her friend starts ringing her, she runs to go over. All done from the laptop or whatever. We also see earlier there was somebody recording stuff, watching her the whole time, which is a bit confusing, because why did he let her get this close to figuring everything out? If he was watching her the whole time, maybe he wanted her to figure it out. Who knows? Oh. Who knows? So he takes her back to his place, covered with cameras. But to the film's credit, they don't show him installing the cameras. I have to do this because I'm bringing her in there. No, he's got cameras all over the place already, which she already knew was there because there was a camera of a place that had the old house, but that only one camera she was able to see. So her mom's locked in the barn or whatever, and so she gets there. He takes her there and he ties her up, and then he says, "I got one thing to do," and before we leave, and he grabs the gun and he goes out. So we get a backstory through cuts to the beginning of the movie, and we find out that the laptop we were watching in the beginning was actually Grace's, her real name being Sarah. And we find out that the dad is a bit of a nutcase. Not only is he a drug addict, hence the bloody nose, and he didn't actually die of a brain tumor. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all. It was cocaine. He was a drug abuser. She used that to get him into jail, going to the same prison that Kevin was in. Which I feel like he didn't tell her what prison he went to, but he did go to prison. And if this guy was on the straight and narrow, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But So she looks up how much time someone will get for abuse, and it showed that he would be out within a year or so, and that's not enough for her. So she sets him up, not sets him up because it's his drugs, but for drug possession, which gets him 12 years, which is, you know, so because you find out he's an abuser, she's looking up tutorials on how to cover up black eyes and stuff, doing makeup tutorials and stuff. And so that's why he was sent to prison for 12 years. So that's the 12 years. So this would take place in 2020 in a world that COVID does not exist in. I don't know. The thing of the beginning said 2008. So anyway, so now we're back to the main timeline here, and main 2023 or 2020, whatever year it is, present day, I guess. And Grace or Rachel or Sarah, excuse me, Rachel was the other lady. Sarah is able to escape him by knocking him out with a brick. She gets in the house, she unties her, and they lock the door, so they're stuck there. But then she remembers she has the watch. So she's able to hook up to the Wi-Fi, and get a hold of Javi, who is a little bit mad at her when she tells him what's going on. He tells him to call the cops, but is unable to get the whole address out before it cuts out. Although apparently it does work, and I have an issue with this ending. It feels like a cop-out to me. We don't actually get any resolution to this. So, there's a confrontation between the three. He shoots Grace, Sarah, but Sarah's able to get back up and stab him in the neck with a shard of the mirror, right? And then he leaves, locking the door behind him, and tries to look up the local hospital and dies before he can do it. We cut to what looks like normal footage of cops surrounding the place. And I went, why is this normal footage? There are police cams. You could have done that. No, because this is not actually what actually happened. This is a reenactment, because I am shocked when June turns around and it's freaking Jasmine Savoy Brown from Scream, and Scream 2022 and Scream 6. And I went, what? Because it's another reenactment. Yeah, and that's how they chose to end that part of the movie. And we do find out that they're okay now and the relationship is better, but much like Searching. But that movie, that ending is just a cop-out. Can we have the cops come in and save them? I don't know. But I did enjoy this movie. I enjoyed it much more than the first one. I'm going to say it's pretty good. Yes. So, what are your thoughts on Missing? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.